Hey guys, what's going on Wednesday? I'm doing an update into the close. I don't have a whole lot of time to hit on macro. It's going to be a little bit rushed. I wanted to touch on crypto. So I've been messaging out, we've been talking about this turning point in June, July for a while. So I wanted to touch on that. And then in doing so, without going into bonds, because there's actually a lot going on in markets. Um, Coming in here to the end of this month and into next. Um, I mean, bonds are wedging. There's some pretty good pivots going on in the dollar, and then equities are high. But I guess in pointing out here what's going on with crypto, I'll just highlight what we did here today in Tesla, and then through that you'll kind of see what I'm talking about, big picture for tech and equities overall. So let's just let's just get started with crypto. I mean, this is the big move today. It's probably one of I think the most bullish days since the move off the lows. And the monthly cycles have lined up nicely in November. And then there's a pretty good ebb and flow. What I wanted to point out, let me draw on the chart, is every single one of these rallies, what we call real money candles, we really haven't had that much follow through. So coming off this low, this was a good bullish candle. We went up for 2 days sideways for an 8 count. This is the weekly chart. Same thing. Real money candle, zero follow through. We went sideways, drifted lower for 9 weeks. And then here we are again today with a decent sized candle, obviously an intraday. I mean, very momentous move. And it feels like crypto's alive. I flipped net long, being net short for a little while. And these markets have been quiet. But this, I think you need to go with this. I just want to highlight a couple things as far as how to manage the risk around it, because we still have to get through these two turning points. And then you have the move into the third quarter of the end of the year that matters. So this is kind of what I'm thinking and how I think you play it. You be long here, however that looks in your portfolio, whatever it is you want to play. I have different ideas and strategies on how to do that. Your risk is below last week's low. You still haven't cleared this high. Try to zoom in. We haven't cleared the high yet from April, but if we do that, we're coming into next week as the turning point. All right. If you can clear this high into next week, the probability of a rally into the July turning point is very high. It makes a lot of sense. All right. And high beta, kind of like higher risk crypto is chasing and catching up with the massive rally we've had in equities. And these highs matter here for crypto. It's just a matter of, can you clear this high next week? Bullish, at least probably into next month. Whether or not we can make a new high here, I think to get all the way above this high is pretty massive. And I'll hit on that why I think because of equities, but we don't have to project forward too much. You just need to know that this high matters into next week, whether or not we can follow through. So I like being long, and then we'll see what happens and just determine how to manage the risk and navigate it on the way into the July move, which is a cycle turn here. And then of course we've got this high. That's going to be key. If and when you either make a lower high here and we break back down, then we can talk about known breakout until the October, November bigger monthly wave, October this year. I kind of doubt we're going to rally all the way straight into October turning point. But anyway, that's kind of the gist of it. I can go a little bit more in detail on how to do that. Obviously, if you're a part of the crypto team and when kind of the trading services and what we're doing on the coaching, you're going to be following along with that. But this today was big, and this June, July, I've been saying is setting up pretty nicely for some sort of move. And we had a good catalyst today with the news that came out, which was very timely. My biggest concern with crypto rallying is where stocks are. So we've had such a big move in the NASDAQ, mostly the four stocks that are driving this rally. I talked about, we've had a 30-40% rally. This is a bear market rally still within the context of this larger trend. Not good. Like this is trouble up here. All right. Every time we've been up here, here, I'll just bring up Tesla on this chart. These weekly cycles matter. They definitely matter. Every time we've been up here, it's just been lower highs. Here, high, high. And here we are again, topping tail coming into this week. It's just, this is what the overall markets are going to have to deal with. And it's what crypto would have to deal with. So yeah, maybe crypto's catching up. Maybe it's just late. It's going to get sucked in, drawing a bunch of people chasing into July, and then we make another lower high and we don't see a breakout or anything bullish until after October. So it's going to matter a lot what happens to tech and equities overall. If we fail here and we head back down, cycle back lower on the weekly, then there's no reason why crypto's not going to get hit. That said, I guess I'll just get into Tesla. I wanted to just do a little bit, since we're firing up the coaching program again, and this is I haven't done a teaching video or talked about any of these strategies for a while. So this is kind of what I saw today that I thought was interesting. Maybe you guys get some value out of. Coming into, obviously I just pointed out the weekly level. We're really, really overbought. Okay. It doesn't mean you can't continue to go higher, but this move is very long in the tooth. So a reversal didn't surprise me. There's plenty of room to retrace a lot of this move. 50% retrace. I mean, there's plenty of reasons that you could be bearish up here. But from a day trade standpoint, this is just a couple teaching points, things that I noticed, again, that I haven't brought up in a while. Anytime you have a market that opens up to new highs before the open, it's tough to be day trade long or aggressively long on the open after this type of distance. You see how far you are from the pi line, from the 200. You can trade it long, but you have to really respect a break back through the 8. These lows here, which we call the TMS on the near term. Once you broke through that, it opened the door for all kinds of room back to trade back to pi. And so in my model, I've always talked about when you break the TMS, which is the technical market structure, the pattern of higher lows. Okay, you break the 8, you get to move back to the bands. You couldn't hold this low. You couldn't hold the bands. Then you get a deeper cycle back to pi. And so that all played out today. And I played it short shares and then also playing the options. I'm going to show you on the 1 minute a little bit more granular detail, but this is the stuff we work on the team and in the coaching. But putting it all together, day trading, whether it's shares, futures, and then you can do a lot with the options. I include all that in the coaching I've been talking about. I'll show you guys where you can pick that up, or the deal I'm doing to get all those courses. But again, back to the chart. You break this, you get to move to pi. But after this wall down, right? After this wall down, when you have the initial drop, from here straight down on the 5 minute to a new low relative to these lows, the probability you're going to go all the way to a new high or back to the highs after you've made a new higher high a lower low to come all the way back is the probability is just very low. It's how markets move. So more than likely you're going to fail at halfway. 618 retrace. The odds of a higher low, the odds of a lower high after a new lower low is usually the pattern that plays out. So higher high relative to here, right? You go from a higher high to a new low. On the bounce up, this is the opportunity where you want to be fading it and getting short. That's the opportunity to sell into that. We call it a wall concept, where this is the bears put this low in. The bears put in a wall. Should be in red, but whatever. On the way back up this wall, it's tough for the bulls to take out that entire wall. All right. So you fade that, and then you get the failure, you get the move back lower. So what I was essentially trading this morning is just that. It's okay, short, maybe you cover a little bit, which I think I did, but it was the bounce back up after all the selling. All right, because everybody that's long up here, when they feel the pain, they get back up, they start selling. There's so much work the bulls have to do, and it's just something we've observed in markets for a long time. A new high, you break, go straight to a lower low. It's very hard to get back to the old highs. So the next move up, you want to be a seller, and then you got the drop to new lows, and you got lower lows, lower highs, lower highs. But in that, there was also opportunity to trade from some intraday moves too. So short here, you cover into the old low, you cover new lows into pie, which we did. You got the bounce, you could reshort, cover new lows, you got the bounce again, short the bands. I mean, it was a nice day on the short side of Tesla. Very technical, very in line with the model. If you go to the 1 minute, more of the same. There's the drop. You fail at pie. Okay. I was selling, once we had this drop, I started selling the calls that expired into this rally at like 475 that expire Friday. You have 2 days out. Everybody chases this stuff. You just made a new low. Good luck getting back to the high as you sell those calls. All right. And then they got to cover those on the drop. And then when we drop, there's opportunity to go here both on the long side and the short side. So on the rally, I'm selling calls, right? And at the same time, I'm selling calls that pay for puts I was buying, like 270 puts. When the market drops, I'm banking those 270 puts, right? And then I'm even buying a few calls against my short. If I'm short shares and I'm net short overall, there's little trades in here on the micro level. So like when we got down to here, I bought 265 calls. We popped. I came out of those, and then I sold the calls up here. I bought puts. Market trades back down. I booked the gains on the puts, and then when like we were down here at 260, I bought calls and 260 calls. The market popped for a cycle on the 1 minute to 5 minute. I realized the calls and went back to the short side, sold 270 calls, sold 275 calls. Market drops, I booked the gains on the 275 calls. At the same time we were selling calls, you're buying puts again at 270. The same trade we had here, buy those again, the market drops. You just rinse and repeat. So there's a lot of micro moves that you can do in and out on these smaller time frames, and it's really the same model, just on it's just a different duration, but it's all the same stuff, guys. So if you're coming in core short, you can work this stuff on your core short, bigger picture, and put together a nice day on the near term and more of the micro moves. Yeah, that's probably it for as far as a recap. If you guys want to get involved, I put out a video last week. Go to cyclicacapital.com. You hit the services tab. This is everything we're doing in the crypto markets, independent traders, for those of you that are on the institutional side. And then if you scroll down here, this is the coaching and mentorship I've been talking about. So we get together, trade in a group setting Tuesday, Thursday mornings. You get all the courses I've ever done. Here, I'll click on it. And I'm offering this at 85% discount right now. So it's like 14 grand worth of value from an educational and courses perspective. And then we're going to get together and trade together twice a week. Day trade stuff, swing trade, psychology of trading, how you get access to different futures markets, whether it's through Top Steps, guys out of Chicago to help get you some more capital. And then I'll have a little bit more information on the algo stuff that we're doing in conjunction with the real-time alerts in both of these services. I just don't have time to go into that right now. Anyway, guys, hope you had a good start to the week. There'll be more to come with the crypto turning points, and message me in the email that goes out here if you're interested in joining the inner circle. All right, have a great night.